Україно, прихилюся я до тебе, помолюся за твоє безкрайнє небо. Твоя мова калинова соловіна зігріває моє серце, Україна. Україна, ти моя Україна, і до тебе я лину, бо моє тут коріння, бо моє тут ім'я. Ти моя Україна, я для тебе дитина, я для тебе дитина, я частинка твоя. Ти мене поклич, я тебе почую.
Well, this morning we checked out of the Grand Hotel and we expected to be leaving, but this lovely place is the Eurohotel, the Eurohotel, Eurohotel, which is where we came to instead. We found the Grand a little bit on the expensive side, although it's not that it's expensive in terms of Western Europe, it's just you can get good hotels. Like this is a nice hotel, perfectly comfortable, smaller room of course, but a lot cheaper, half the price. And so, in fact, it possibly was less than half the price. So, even without the discount. So, we've got slightly worse conditions, I suppose, not much worse. Perfectly decent conditions. Let me just show you the bathroom. I mean, obviously the view out there is onto a typical kind of courtyard that you'd see just about anywhere in Eastern Europe, whether in Poland or in Moscow. You'd see a courtyard like that, and the bathroom is this time no bath. I've got a few more things. I haven't got a list of additional things that they're going to give me if I pay money, like that is yesterday's context is. It's telling me that this is disinfected in 2 languages. If they disinfect it in just the one language, then some of the microbes survive. And there's a shower arrangement with nice pretty flowers around the dado. There's the machinery. This one's got a slightly more modern energy controlling device and slightly less space. I can hear next door's television very lightly, which could be irritating, but I go to sleep to listening to a sort of like podcasting thing anyway, so it probably won't bother me even if they keep it on for later. And that's where we are, Eurohotel. So this is the lovely plush inside hallway of the Eurohotel reception. There's Victoria, who speaks perfect Polish. Some of this interesting reproduction furniture and a bank machine. And what's quite interesting here is that we've got a crash. This Mercedes and this, in fact 3 cars are involved in it, and the dye have appeared as well. But they have to stop where they are in their tracks and wait for the dye to appear and sort everything out who's guilty. There's always somebody guilty. It may be all of them are guilty, but it can't possibly be that none of them are guilty. And so these 3 cars of varying degrees of traditionalness have now got to wait in the middle of the road. That means they've blocked effectively everybody else, and everybody else has to work around them, walk around where they're going, and they've got to stay stock still in the middle of the road. It's the same in Russia. I had that one time. And they're not allowed to move them even 1 inch, otherwise they're automatically to blame, even if they would have been blamed anyway. Then they're doubly to blame. There's something about hotels in the Ukraine and ladies with their tits out for the lads, because again in this hotel, there was one in the other hotel, but in this hotel as well we've got the same thing. So as you can see, it's something which is considered to be a sine qua non in the Ukrainian hotel trade. This is an interesting thing. They've got a Japanese, or no, not a Japanese, a Chinese, and they've got the symbol for a wok in the middle of the word wok, which is interesting. It's good. It's not the first time I've seen the word wok used together with the symbol for a wok in a restaurant. I've seen that before. It's also common in Poland. There's a wok restaurant with the symbol as well, done by the same people who do Dominion pizza. It's well done. They do it very well. I'm not sure this is exactly the same group. I don't suppose it would be, but it's very interesting anyway. Your tie. This gentleman speaks English. He's Mr. Michael, yeah, and he's got a lovely Eurohotel tie on. I've never seen such a smart hotel tie as the Eurohotel tie. And where did you learn your English? Were you in England?
No, I wasn't.
Just in school?
At university.
At university? You did English at university?
Yes.
Did you have to do any literature reading?
I'm studying at foreign languages.
Foreign languages? Which other language?
German.
German. Sie sprechen auch Deutsch?
But I don't speak German very well.
Okay. First year?
Yes.
Okay.
First year.
Okay. Well, that's understandable then. Deutsch ist auch ziemlich schwer.
Maybe I will take a Spanish one.
Okay. Well, that's a nice language, but it's not actually as easy as people think, you know.
Yeah.
Spanish, yes, it's easy to start off with, and then the verb comes along, and the verb's a difficult thing in Spanish, yeah? The noun is easy, but the verb is difficult. It's not like Slavonic languages, the verb is
My
easy.
father knows four languages.
Does he?
Poland.
Yeah. Polish?
Polish, yes.
Is he
Spanish.
Polish? Are you partly Polish?
No, he's French.
Oh, your father's French?
Yeah.
And how did he end up in the Ukraine?
Uh,
Need I ask? Your mother is Ukrainian, right?
Yes.
So he fell in love, of course he did.
My mother is Russian.
Your mother is Russian?
Yeah.
My wife is Belarusian.
Oh.
Yeah. But, and you ended up in the Ukraine?
Yeah.
It's
I was
sort of-
born in Ukraine, in the city.
In Lvov? Well, it's halfway between Russia and France, isn't it, really? A lot of things look rather French here. It's the Austrian influence, I think. Because the Austrians were here when France was the dominant cultural force. And that's why a lot of things look a little bit French. They're really Austrian.
Are you first time?
Yeah, in Lvov. Yeah, I've been to the Ukraine about 10 years ago, but first time in Lvov.
Ukraine, it's Lviv. In
Yes.
Russian, it's Lvov.
Yes, well, I speak Russian. Я говорю по-русски, но я по-украински, украинскую мову не владею. Не владею. Okay. I'm going to have a little film outside, then come back again.
Okay.
It looks like my friends have gone off to church.
The car between these two Opel is
Yeah.
guilty.
He's guilty?
Yeah.
Okay, he's guilty.
He turned to the left,
Uh-huh.
side, and this Mercedes
Okay.
was, I remember the word.
Say it in
They were
Russian.
passing across.
Okay, they were crossing and then he
yeah.
got in the middle of them.
Yes.
In Polish we say między wódką a zagrzyką. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have this expression like that in Poland
No,
and Ukraine?
no.
Okay.
I like it. BMW, yeah?
Yeah?
Będzie masz wydatki. If you will did it.
Yes, that's right, yes. Unlike Mercedes, which looks like an expensive car, but actually is very cheap apparently to run it because it doesn't go wrong that often. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I think he's earned a nice tip at the end of the day. I don't know if I'll give it to him tomorrow and whether my friend will, but the car in the middle is the guilty one, he said. So we'll focus on the guilty person, and then we'll look up to what this hotel looks like on the outside. And let me tell you that although it looks very nice on the inside, it doesn't look up to all that much on the outside. It's a nice street though, with the boulevard effect of all of these things going down there. So that's apparently an Orthodox. He said it was Orthodox, but it doesn't look that Orthodox. It looks more Greco-Catholic. So as you see, there's the Eurohotel, not looking like that much on the outside. There's the accident again. This street's called Tershakov. I'm not sure I can... Tershakovtsev. because it's the unusual version of the alphabet, I can't read it at a distance. But my friends went off to the Roman Catholic Church, it being the first Friday of the month, and as we know from the Wrocław film that I took not so long ago, that's what they always do. I could have gone, but I didn't feel really so inclined to go there. I've got my own church to go to on Sundays, and some things in Catholicism irritate me anyway. I don't mean that meanly, but I just don't share the theology in many points, so therefore the practices tend to get on my nerves a bit, much as I admit that they in some ways are more aesthetically beautiful than our ones, but that's not really what it's all about in Calvinism. But that's an interesting thing. Look at that whacking great big eye peering out from the middle of the triangle. Very Masonic. That's a very Masonic symbol. I don't find it a very nice way of representing deity. I don't think it's... I know that perhaps some people would like to say that God is the all-seeing, all-knowing one, and that he's a Trinity, and therefore we've got this eye peering out from the middle of a triangle. But that goes back to ancient Egypt. It's nothing to do with the Bible. They don't take it for that reason, really. It's an ancient Egyptian symbol, and it's a different God. So why put that on a Christian, ostensibly Christian church? Freemasonry, that's the only reason why they do it. They've infiltrated just about every church. That's why the smaller your church and the more independent it is from other churches. I mean, you may feel as though, okay, I like to be part of a bigger organisation, but if you are, chances are you've got Freemasons in there infiltrating it, changing it, adapting it to their particular needs, and of course doing all they can to make sure the gospel is replaced with works, because they work for the devil, and that's what the devil's always interested in, getting rid of the true gospel and putting a works gospel in its place. So you'll very rarely see Masonic symbols on a church which is preaching salvation by grace alone. Not saying it's impossible, because they're obviously trying to get themselves in there, but if they're there for any length of time, they'll have got rid of that just as sure as night follows day. And they always leave their signs up, just like gypsies do when they've been anywhere. They leave a little sign so that other gypsies can know what's going on. Well, Freemasons are just the same. They leave their signs all over the architecture. Unfortunately, there's a lack of paving slabs here. I usually like to look around. If I see missing paving slabs, I usually like to look around and see if they've just simply been displaced and then put them back again. And there are some over here which theoretically one could pick up and replace over there, but then there wouldn't be any over there. There aren't any extra ones. These have also become displaced, and a lot of these things have displaced. And you would think, wouldn't you, that if there's 1 in 5 Ukrainians have lost their jobs, that they would be asking them, come here and just put this back together again. You know, you don't need any special training to put this back together again. I could do it, but I'm not unemployed. When I am unemployed, then you see me going out and do it. As it is, I'm telling other people, if you're unemployed, why don't you go out onto your street and just start putting the stones back together again? When somebody says to you, hey, why are you doing that? It's the council's job. You can say to them, hey, I'm unemployed. The council workers are not unemployed. They're not doing it. I'm unemployed, I'm doing it. So perhaps you'd like to employ me and put the people that should have been doing it into the unemployed situation. That's just an idea. You might try that, see if it works for you, if you're looking for a job. Just go out and start doing what the council workers ought to be doing, and when they complain that you're doing their job, then say, well, okay, you become unemployed and I'll do your job then if it's for the workers, but as it is, let it be for the unemployed, and see if it doesn't get you a job. It might do. assuming you want one, of course. I think I'm going to come through here while I can. Anyway, back to this lovely hotel. Well, this thing that looks a bit like a castle, an old style castle with this castle gate and the castle-y walls around it, and this thing in the middle. And it's a restaurant that we've been brought to very kindly, and it's going to be great fun. This looks like a bit of the dungeon. I'm looking forward to having some Ukrainian food here. It's going to be great. Sort of like old-fashioned. Everything's been, I think it's new because it looks new, but it's very old-fashioned. There's a nice grill in there with a fire. Super. Oh. Drevny Grad. It's called Ancient City. Drevny, Ancient Walled City. Drevny Grad. Dobry wieczór. Aha. Very fine. Okay. Let's take a seat anyway. Oh, look at these lovely great big menus. Karta win, I don't need that necessarily. There's the Drevny Grad. Yes, there's a fine smoky smell. Brilliant. Right, okay.
Żeby takie z pół obciętych bali, jak są u nas tam na górach, takie pół.
Aha, takie są...
Takie, no grubsze od tych, takie.
No tak, tak.
Żeby takie zrobić, takie.
Leather-bound box with the menu in it.
Pieczątka jest.
Yes, ancient script and a seal at the top.
A czy tutaj to są miejsca hotelowe, czy tylko?
Okay, but while I'm reading it, I think I'll turn this off.
Żeby tu były...
It's a very fine selection of dishes. It starts off with salads, and you've got your cold appetizers, and you've got your warm appetizers, things like banosh. And we've now got Ukrainian music in the background. This one says that Ukraine is heaven on earth.
Ви маєте вареники? Робите? Можете нам зробити вареники, а ще маєте?
Україна небо землі.
Дві порції поставити на загал, щоб ви попробували собі.
Fish and sea products.
Значить, один салат Цезар.
Ja wiem, że chciałbym solянkę,
А салатка?
a sałatki to nie wiem.
To może nie. Cezar to tak jak pan David wybrał. To jest...
Wieczorem bez panów, a obróciliście się już panami.
Interesting costume in the waiter has here, the old Ukrainian.
Chimichurri.
Mówię, po tym wieczorem sobie, po tym piwie wam tak się na panów przeszło.
Here's my Caesar
Tutaj
salad.
wygląda coś, co mi smakowało.
Oh yeah, very nice Caesar salad. And you've got a nice thing as well. What is that then? Oh, that's your
A czym to jest?
your.
O,
It's like sauerkraut in sauerkraut in pancake well, in a pancake cup or a bowl made from pancake.
Indywiduum?
Nie, ja w kino oglądałem takiego, pokazywali nas kino, gdzie Anglik skradł jego Czeczenię z kobietą i potem kobietę zostawili, a chłopaka odprawili za pieniędzmi, żeby wykup przywiózł. No i on przyjeżdża z takim też ruskim i ruski tam zaczyna strzelać, tam ubijać i tą kobietę wyzwala i a ten Anglik cały czas miał tu na tym kamerę założoną tak za tym i chodził i opowiada tak że to jest po prostu Anglii, tak.
Okay, no, it's just my way of remembering things.
Taki smak ma jak tam...
And sharing it with a lot of people.
Dziwny śledzi.
Right, this is the next round.
Ale
do
dowódca, słuchaj Dave,
Solianka.
ty to byś od razu w tym raju...
Jaki raj?
Co to jest?
Ten turbulentin piwny zup. This is beer soup in a loaf of bread.
I jedno właśnie z opowiadań, jak
And
tam
that's
mówił,
soliarka.
że był... To wczoraj mieliśmy.
No,
Czy
to są
było
pierogi. Jest taki sos do pieróg.
Wieczorem byliśmy tam gdzieś w rynku.
There's the carp that they've got for me from the grill. A co ty misz? Underneath this pancake, что это?
Były właśnie też
Szaszłyk.
w trakcie dwie w obozach
Interesting.
zawsze. Byli ci
These are
normalnie,
pierogies again.
którzy nie rządzili w obozach.